Hey guys, Corb here, and today I'll be starting my playthrough of Dragon Age Origins. This is probably my favorite RPG of all time, as well as my favorite game series. I do have the Ultimate Edition, so I'll be playing Origins, Awakening, and Witch Hunt. As most of you are aware, Inquisition will be coming out within a year or so I'll be playing Dragon Age 2 with all the DLC as well. Hopefully the characters I create will be the ones I use for my save file in Inquisition. So if this is your first time seeing Dragon Age and you want to get the story down instead of going out to buy the game, then I hope these videos help you. I'll be starting off as a male human noble, my personal favorite of the origin stories. Let's get started, guys.
The Chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation. The Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed. It has been 4 centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Alright. I love that intro video. You guys are going to have to forgive me in advance because it has been close to a year since I've made any kind of video on YouTube. I'm trying to get back into it now, but like I said, we are playing as a human noble. I'm not really into the rogue class. It's pretty fun. It's definitely better in Dragon Age 2. I like being a warrior. I like being, you know, up in your face. I think we're gonna go dual wields. I'm also gonna, I think I'm gonna try to play as the good guy. The hero. That's how I usually like to play games. Let's get started here. I've beaten this game so many times, I know exactly how I want my character to look. Let's see, that's a good preset. We'll do that's good. One thing bad about this character selection that I've never liked is what it looks like in character selection, it doesn't actually look like in game. Even though this looks like he's got really dark skin, it'll end up being lighter in the game. Tattoo. We'll wait to go back to tattoo to make sure I got everything right. I don't want to mess his face up yet. Hair. And since you start off as a human noble, I kind of like having nicer looking hair. Don't want a beard. One thing I never liked with the beards is for some reason it always kind of hung off the cheeks. So we're not gonna do a beard. We're gonna have black hair, eyebrows, a little bit less crazy. Definitely having stubble, black stubble. Got the squintier looking eyes there. Eye color. If I remember, I think that's blue. It's hard to tell. No shape will do. Start with that. That's the wrong one. It's tip width. We want about like that. And we want, let's see, bridge width. That's what it is. Bring that out a little bit more. There we go. And then we want a little bit of a bump there. Just a little bit. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Okay, mouth. We definitely don't want that overbite. Fix that a little bit. That looks pretty good. Maybe a little bit more. Yeah, close enough. All right. Cheekbone depth. What is? Ew. Now we want it. How about right there? That looks okay. Height. We don't want it way down there. That'll be okay, I guess. And then we want a little bit fuller cheeks. That looks pretty good. How about... Oh yeah, we wanted to do a tattoo. It looks a little weird in the beginning, having a tattoo, because you are starting off as a noble, and you don't think that you'd have a tatted up face as a noble, but later on in the game, when you're actually a Grey Warden, you're like, wow, it looks actually pretty badass. So, we'll keep that tattoo. Expression, like having a goofy expression. Yeah, we'll do that. We want the blue backgrounds. Look down, look left. Zoom that in. And we want the violent voice.
Ah, my spell!
Alright, I think I got everything down. And we'll go to name. Now I'm going to choose the name Mather. When you're actually doing the human starting storyline and you go talk to Aldous, the mage, he will actually tell you a little bit of history of the Kuzlin family. And I think it was Tarn. No, it wasn't Tarn. Well, one of your ancestors was named Mather Kuzlin back in the Black Ages. And I don't know, I just thought it'd be cool to have one of your ancestors' names. So we'll go with Mather. Alright, I think that looks good. We are going to be doing dual wield, so we need one cunning. I do like getting all the persuasion stuff. We'll do that. That looks pretty good to me. Next turn, persuade. Okay. And then we will start with dual weapon training. It won't matter right away because we start off with a sword and shield, but once we start fighting, we'll get a dagger right off the bat, so I'll be able to dual wield. And then we'll do powerful, which increases pretty much my damage. So, here we go. We'll do... Most of the time, I like to play these games on easy mode, because in role-playing games, I kind of like to feel like I'm an unstoppable force, but we'll do normal this time. I played this game so many times, if I can't play it on normal, then I probably shouldn't play it at all. And I love, like, RPGs are, like, easy just to make, like, you feel like you're God, and you just walk through everything. Whereas strategy games, I like playing strategy games on more difficult difficulties. Alright. Loading screen. Uh-oh.
For generations, your family, the Kuzlins, has stewarded the lands of Highever, earning the loyalty of your people with justice and temperance. When your country was occupied by the Orlesian Empire, Your father and grandfather served the embattled kings of your land. Today, your elder brother takes up House Kuzlan's banner in service to the crown. Not against the men of Orlais, but against the bestial darkspawn rising in the south.
I trust then that your troops will be here shortly.
I expect they will start arriving tonight, and we can march tomorrow. I apologize for the delay, my lord. This is entirely my fault.
No. The appearance of the Darkspawn in the south has us all scrambling, doesn't it? I only received the call from the king a few days ago myself. I'll send my eldest off with my men. You and I will ride tomorrow just like the old days.
True. That we both had less grey in our hair then. And we fought Orlesians, not monsters.
At least the smell will be the same. I'm sorry, Pup, I didn't see you there. Hal, you remember my son?
I see he's grown into a fine young man. Pleased to see you again, lad.
And you, Arl Hal.
My daughter Delilah asked after you. Perhaps I should bring her next time.
Yeah, I think I'd like that.
Good. She goes on about your prowess as a warrior. I think you have an admirer, young man.
At any rate, Pup, I summoned you for a reason. While your brother and I are both away, I'm leaving you in charge of the castle.
I will do my best, Father.
Now, that's what I'd like to hear. Only a token force is remaining here, and you must keep peace in the region. You know what they say about mice when the cat is away, yes? There's also someone you must meet. Please, show Duncan in.
It is an honor to be a guest within your hall, Tyrn Kuzland.
Your lordship, you didn't mention that a Grey Warden would be present.
Duncan arrived just recently, unannounced. Is there a problem?
Of course not. But a guest of this stature demands certain protocol. I am at a disadvantage.
We rarely have the pleasure of seeing one in person, that's true. Pup, Brother Aldous taught you who the Grey Wardens are, I hope.
Yes, they are an order of great warriors.
They are the heroes of legend, who ended the Blights and saved us all. Duncan is looking for recruits before joining us and his fellow wardens in the south. I believe he's got his eye on Sir Gilmore.
If I might be so bold, I would suggest that your son is also an excellent candidate.
Honor though that might be, this is one of my sons we're talking about.
I actually think I rather like the idea, Father.
I have not so many children that I'll gladly see them all off to battle. Unless you intend to invoke the right of conscription.
Have no fear. While we need as many good recruits as we can find, I've no intention of forcing the issue.
Pup, can you ensure that Duncan's requests are seen to while I'm gone?
Of course.
In the meantime, find Fergus, and tell him to lead the troops to Ostagar ahead of me.
Where is Fergus?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Spending some last moments with his wife and my grandson. Be a good lad and do as I've asked. We'll talk soon.
Alright, I'm gonna make sure I don't spoil any of the upcoming events for you guys in case you haven't seen these games before or know any of the storyline behind this game. I know my father just told me to run off and find my brother, but I'm gonna go ahead and talk to these guys really quick and make sure. Hang on. Okay, I do have the DLC stuff. Okay. Go ahead and talk to Arl Hal here.
Yes?
How long have you and father been friends?
We fought together under King Maric when he drove the Orlesians out of Ferelden. Heady times. The years since have not held the same promise. It's not something a youth would understand. It will be good to ride beside your father again.
You knew King Maric?
Your father hasn't spoken of our time with him? That man took care of his friends. As they say, he was large as life and twice as tall. It's too bad Cailan isn't half that.
I'm assuming you don't think too much about King Cailan.
I think of him as much as he thinks at all.
That's enough, Hal. You speak of our king.
Oh, the boy did ask, your lordship, as per the latitude you allow. I merely offered my opinion.
So, your daughter's interested in me, huh?
The topic has come up from time to time. The young and their infatuations.
I'm pretty sure I got the impression she didn't like me that much.
I'm sure that was years ago. People change. To be honest, I have no expectations. And your father seems determined to let you find your own way. If something did happen, well, we'd address it as befits a family of our stature.
Well, as long as she doesn't have your nose, I think I'd like that.
I'm sure. There will be much to discuss once I return.
I trust the delay with your men is nothing serious.
Poor weather, I believe. Their progress has been slow, but it's nothing you need worry about.
I just want to wish you well, Arlhow.
I thank you. That is quite unnecessary.
Alright. We've got Duncan here.
I'm sorry, but I believe your father wishes to talk to the Arl and myself alone.
Let's see. May we speak later then?
Your father has left you in charge of the castle? Then I will see you at dinner tomorrow, if not sooner.
I look forward to it.
As do I. Until then.
Talk to my dad one more time.
Shouldn't you be off to your brother, as I asked?
Are you sure you'll be alright, Father?
Your brother and I go into battle, not an afternoon tea. Who knows what will happen to us? I will tell you, however, you're my cherished son. I love you, and I trust you completely to carry on the Kuzlin name if the worst should happen. But don't worry about me, dear boy. You'll have enough to occupy your mind while I'm gone.
Is sending all of our is sending all of our forces south a good idea?
When the king demands it. In fact, not sending our forces south would be a distinctly bad idea. Don't worry, pup. You shouldn't see many problems, but I want you to prepare the men left here, in case.
In case of what?
Legends of the Blights tell of horrible things. These darkspawn once threatened many lands. If we can't hold them, you must prepare for the worst.
I'll do my best, Father, and I swear it.
I know you will. You are a Kuzland, after all. But let's not speak of ominous things. We shall assume that all will go well, and the Maker will watch over us.
Now, where do you think Fergus is again?
Upstairs in his chambers, no doubt. Saying goodbye to Oriana and your nephew.
Alrighty, now I'll go now.
I'll talk to you soon. Just let me finish my meeting with Duncan.
Alright. So, since I'm not a rogue and I cannot lockpick things, I will not do too much time exploring the castle. Because there'd be no point. We're just going to go to all the places that we actually have storyline, and then we will go do our mission.
Greetings, my lord. You are the Terran's son, are you not?
I am indeed Mather.
That is good to know. I understand you shall take charge of your father's castle once we march.
So I am told, yes.
Ah, then I wish ye luck. Good evening, my lord.
Yes, good evening. Alrighty. So we're gonna head out this way. That's locked. If I was a rogue, I'd be able to pick it.
Good evening, my lord.
Good evening. We're gonna go over here to the Chantry.
Maker, prepare a place for us. Redeem our world from sin. Forgive our transgressions.
Maker, forgive us all.
Have you come to pray for your brother and father? I'd be happy to ask for the Maker's blessings with you.
I would appreciate that, Mother Malol.
Please, child, call me Malol. I've known you since you were a wee babe after all. Creator of the sky, the land, and the sea. Hear your people in our time of need.
Say nothing.
Let no man have cause to fear the shadows. Let their souls be lifted upon your return. So let it be.
Say nothing.
Your faith is silent tonight. I hope you are just deep in reflection. There are many more who must receive the Maker's blessings before they leave. If you would excuse me.
Thank you, Malol.
It is the least I could do. If the worst comes to pass, child, take comfort in knowing that the Maker's will takes many forms. We shall talk once the soldiers have departed.
So, if you guys have absolutely no idea about any of the Dragon Age storyline, one of the biggest plot lines in Dragon Age is the whole Chantry worshipping the Maker, and the Chantry, basically their soldiers are called Templars, and the Templars are out to, I guess, basically keep the mages intact. The mages are very feared because of their use of blood magic and can become basically possessed by demons, become abominations. So the Chantry's job is pretty much to spread the word of the Maker, and also it's really to keep control of the mages. It's a scary thing because they're supposed to be the good guys, but I guess depending on your point of view, they may also be the bad guys.
Oh, my lord, we were just,
Taking a break?
well, the treasury's safe. I'm not even sure why the Terran stationed us here.
Let's see. Don't worry about it, Min. I won't say anything. I know what it's like to have dick bosses.
We appreciate that, my lord. Thank you.
No problem. You probably don't get paid enough either. I know how that feels. Alrighty, and now we're about to get stopped. There we go.
There you are. Your mother told me the Terran had summoned you, so I didn't want to interrupt.
Well, hello to you too, Sir Gilmore.
Pardon my manners, my lord. It's simply that I've been looking all over the castle for you. I fear your hound has the kitchens in uproar once again, and is threatening to leave.
Did the dog get into the larder again?
No matter how the maids try to keep him out, he always finds a way in. You know these Mabari hounds. They listen only to their master. Anyone else risks having an arm bitten off.
Let's see. He knows better than to hurt anybody.
I'm not willing to test that. You're quite lucky to have your own Mabari warhound, you know. Smart enough not to talk, my father used to say. Of course, that means he's easily bored. Nan swears he confounds her just to amuse himself. At any rate, your mother would have me accompany you until the matter is settled, shall we?
Alrighty, to the kitchens then.
Just follow the yelling. When Nan's unhappy, she makes sure everyone knows it.
So Sir Gilmore is pretty much the reason why Duncan, the Grey Warden, is here. He's trying to recruit Sir Gilmore. Good evening, sir.
Can I get you a ladder so you can get off my back?
Hello, my dear boy. By chance, I am beginning to teach these young squires about your family's history.
Do we have to? History is boring.
Boys, you are referring to the Couslands, the very family in whose castle you live. Show some respect.
It's alright, it is boring.
I see you haven't changed. Perhaps it would benefit you to join our lesson?
Certainly. I'd be happy to help.
Wonderful. Oh, the Cousland history is long indeed. Where shall we start?
When was our line founded?
Records are vague, but the Couslands became Tierns during the Black Age. Is that familiar, child?
Yeah, I remember something about an age in there.
Every day I pray to the Maker that my lessons will stick, and every day he tasks me anew. At that time, your family held only the minor title of Ban. When the werewolves reached this area, Ban Mather Cousland organized a curfew and patrols within the city.
Told you!
Several other local bands supported his efforts by swearing oaths of fealty, making him their Tiern.
And we predate the founding of the kingdom, yes?
Well, I'm glad some of my lessons don't disappear into that yawning chasm between your ears, young man.
I'm doing the best I can, dude.
It seems you've already plumbed the depths of your potential, then. A pity.
Low blow.
At any rate, your family has held the Ternier of High Ever since before King Callan had united Ferelden. In fact, Tierna Elathea Cousland battled Callanhad to maintain High Ever's independence.
We opposed the king?
Well, the Couslands are ardent royalists now, but at that time, Calenhad was unknown, and considered dangerous by many. When Calenhad's army reached Highever, Tierna Elethea led the local bands against him. Obviously, Calenhad won.
And Calenhad let us keep the Tierner?
Calenhad wished to unite Ferelden, not conquer it. After Elethea's men were defeated, Calenhad asked her to swear fealty. The boulder where they held council still stands today as a memorial of that event.
Tell about our relationship with Arl Howe.
The history between the Kuslands and the Howes reaches back to the Orlesian occupation.
Go on.
During the rebellion against Orlais, several battles were fought near Highever. The port village of Harper's Ford was the Turnier's center. Its Arl was Tarleton Howe. Though nearly 90, he was still as sharp and bitter as cheap ale. Your grandfather openly supported the rebellion, but Howe sided with Orlais. Your family was forced to seize Harper's Ford before it was all over.
But my father and Arl Howe are old friends.
The Howes eventually joined the rebellion, when all of Ferelden united behind King Merrick and General Loghain. Just as now we united behind Merrick's son, King Cailan, to fight the Darkspawn.
I guess it's time to end the lesson.
Thank you for indulging an old man.
Oh, does that mean we have to listen to you now?
Silence! I will not have you two becoming smart-mouthed hooligans. Perhaps you should go. I doubt they need any more distraction. I'm just going to settle in here and apparently just talk to myself for all the good.
So that's basically where I got the name Mather from. I think it's pretty cool. And he's passed out. Let's get some more codex stuff. Every little bit of experience helps. Books.
Try for this.